I don't normally do videos like this, so please bear with me. What's up? This is just something that I had to bring up. You know, I can't let this kind of thing go by unchecked. Okay, so I've been taking environmental science in school for the previous first quarter, second quarter, and I've noticed a disturbing trend in recent teaching. What they've been teaching in class is population control. Now, this may sound like an innocent thing, but me, I kind of take it personally because it's a straight up attack on the human race. Both in books and in worksheets, we're forced to study this data, telling us how bad human population growth is and how, industrialized nations need to divert their wealth to the lower nations to help them, and how bad it is to have a family. Cultural is talking about these things in a bad way. It's talking about government-sponsored population control, which, if you think is right, the first worksheet titled, "Should there be a global effort to limit population growth?" right here, you can see it behind me, has some many disturbing questions. Let's look at some of these questions. As you can see behind me, you can see this article, and it says, if governments set up a social security to support the elderly, families might voluntarily have fewer children. Governments could offer incentives and limit families. You can see that right there. That seems kind of shady to me. What would they be doing? Why would they be giving social security to these people in order to make them limit their families? It also says many other factors that affect population control, which means, hinder it in the context of this article, as you can see. I have the picture posted. You can read it. It says to prevent some from limiting the size of their families. You can see religious beliefs. Hacking religion is disgusting to me. Cultural beliefs, such as individual freedoms. Individual freedoms they're attacking, And then you have, many people believe that couples have the right to have as many children as they wish. Yes, that should be the belief. Why shouldn't you? They're putting that underneath what hinders it, and that's just wrong, And then they have, can people be persuaded voluntarily to limit the size of their families? Can those with many more resources help the less fortunate? And that seems like lead-on questions. Now, if that all seems innocent to you, you haven't seen nothing yet, Look right here. It says, discuss in what ways human population might be controlled so that human and environmental damage is kept to a minimum. Next one. In your opinion, could these results be achieved voluntarily within a free society, or should governments force people to comply? Explain your decision. Governments have no business telling people what they can and cannot do, especially with things such as family. On the second worksheet, they have population. More is less. Questions and answers. In the second worksheet, they have list some advantages of a reduced human population. This is genocide, people. Discuss the relative importance of quantity of life versus, they're talking about, how people should live longer and not have any kids. Yeah, people should live longer, and yes, they should have as many kids as they want. Who are you to tell somebody how many kids they are allowed to have? You have, should governments enact and enforce laws to limit population? Explain your answer. No, my government has no right. You can see we're turning this nation is not a prison, it's indoctrinating high schoolers. Should governments encourage population control through such measures as education, tax incentives for smaller families, and making birth control more available? What can you do personally to help with the overpopulation problem? Now, first of all, the way that question is stated, it's basically telling you, what can you do to help limit the human population? I don't know, you could go on a rampage, become a dictator, genocide a couple million people? What are these people talking about? But I'm sure we have there are more solutions to this than limiting human population. We can have farms and buildings, eco-domes and this kind of stuff. We're each an individual, and you need to stand up and fight this. Also, facts and data that was brought up in the book was made by the UN Population Fund. Please don't let them indoctrinate you. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Alex Jones, I hope you personally see this video. I'd love to, see a comment from you or, something like that. Just trying to help everybody out, and expose these people for what they are. Thanks, I'm out. Zombie Power.